Hey everybody, it's Crystal, and I just wanted to get on here and do a quick update about my doctor's appointment today, and just to let everybody know how it went. So I went in at 1 o'clock and I saw one of the midwives that I hadn't seen before, and I loved her. She was so awesome. I mean, she just had an amazing personality. She was very personable. I just thought she was great. So I saw her, and another thing that I thought was just amazing is that she is herself trying to conceive. Her and her husband have been trying for a while, and she is going to be doing like donor embryos in January. And I love meeting people who work in the industry of helping other women get pregnant or stay pregnant, and you know, through their care of pregnancy. I love meeting people who are going through infertility, because I just think that they are so strong to be able to work in that environment and deal with what they're dealing with. And I wish her the best. I mean, I absolutely wish her the best. So my appointment was well. Let's see. Sorry, I've been tearful ever since I left the appointment. It was so surreal talking about some of the things that I talked about, and I'll get to that in a minute, but I'm just feeling very emotional after my appointment today. My blood work, my blood pressure was better than it was. It wasn't super high, which is great. And all due to obviously me not working right now and not being on my feet. The swelling in my face has gone down a little bit. You know, I'm puffy, but I'm not as puffy as I was. My legs and my feet are still swollen, but that's okay. Sorry, my brain is so scatterbrained right now. Okay, so blood pressure was good, platelets were good, everything else was good. I do have protein in my urine, and it is a little higher than what it should be. It's not yet to the point where they have to induce me, but I guess she said that normally when you're pregnant, your protein levels are in the 100 range or something like that. Around 100. I'm not 100% sure exactly what she said, but mine is at 207 right now. So she said that it's creeping up, and most likely when I go to my appointment next week, my centering appointment, I will probably have to do another 24-hour urine collection and see if the number has gone up from there. They don't want to see anything over 300. So if I do my 24-hour collection next week and it is at 300 or more or close to that, then we will most likely go ahead and talk about inducing me. That way it doesn't get out of control. So I'm not like for sure. I mean, I'm not 100% like in the clear. I do need to take it easy. I do need to just be careful. And if I start to notice any sort of symptoms, like I've had a little bit of visual little sparks and things that I've kind of seen, you know, like whenever you have high blood pressure, there are things that happen to your body that you need to be aware of. So she said that if I start to notice anything more happening, to give them a call and go in and they'll check me out earlier. And so yeah, everything else looked really good. However, I did my group B strep test last week. They wanted me to go ahead and do it because I am having twins. And normally they don't do it till you're 35 weeks, but they just wanted me to get it done in case I went into labor early. They wanted to know ahead of time, and I tested positive. So, that means that I have to have, that I'm going to have antibiotics whenever I go into labor, which is fine, whatever. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. I know some people are, you know, they want to decline having the test done. They don't want to have to take antibiotics and all this other stuff. But for me personally, I would rather know that I have something, a virus in my body, that if I were to pass it on to any of the babies, that I would feel horrible if I made them sick. And group B strep after babies are born can be dangerous, very dangerous. So I have that, which I was hoping that I wouldn't, but you know, you can't really control it. I think she said anywhere from 20 to 40% of women will have it when they're pregnant. It's just, you know, you're either going to have it or you're not going to have it. So I'm glad that I know about that. So yeah, the protein is a little high, and we'll check it again next week. And then the blood pressure was better. Again, like I still need to be not on 100% like bed rest, like I can't get up, but they don't want, excuse me, I'm so sorry, I just ate. But they definitely don't want me like running around town shopping or going anywhere and doing anything. They want me to stay comfortable and home and to just take it easy. Drink lots of water, that kind of thing. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. But we talked about labor. Like we talked about delivery. It was so surreal. I think that's why I was so emotional whenever I left, because it was the first time. I mean, we talk about labor and delivery all the time in my centering class, but having a one-on-one with midwife and, you know, talking about it is more real. So she said that, let's see. Okay, so she listened to the heartbeats, and Armor was in the 120, 130 range, and Ronan was in the 140 range. He was a little higher active than Armor was. She said, obviously, you know, if I don't feel the babies move for some reason, that I would need to come in and they would monitor me and make sure they were good to go. Armor is very head down, and she made a comment on that. She was looking at my sonogram from from my appointment, and she just made the statement of how low he was, and I said, yes, he's very low. So I let her know about the contractions that I'd been having and how I have been having some contractions like where I feel lots of pressure in my cervix area, and she said that's obviously very normal with him being as low as he is. And so then we talked about basically between, she said, you know, the goal is to keep you pregnant for at least another week. Because, you know, when I go back in a week, like I said, if my protein is higher, then we will most definitely probably talk about inducing me, planning a day or something like that. So, if for some reason my water is to break between now and then, she said that I can labor at home until I either am too freaked out and need to go to the hospital, or she said that obviously when my water breaks, if I'm at home for whatever reason, if my water breaks, that I would need to call in, let them know, and at that point, you know, the midwives would know that that stuff is happening. And then they would probably want me to come in at least 4 hours after that to give me the antibiotics. And then, like, if labor wasn't progressing or nothing was really happening, I'd probably go home and wait a little bit longer after the antibiotics. Or if I am, like, having contractions and stuff like that, then I can, you know, just stay there. But I just love how she talked about it. You know, like, even though it's twins and it's high risk and stuff like that, you know, it's not something they haven't handled before. So I like that they're not like, it's not like a huge deal. Like, oh my God, as soon as your water breaks, you have to come in, and, you know, all of this stuff. Like, it's very, you know, we've done this before. We, you know, feel confident in your body and all of this stuff. And, you know, Armor's in a great position for vaginal birth. And it makes me feel really, really good to talk about it like that in a positive note, rather than being all serious and, oh my gosh, this is going to happen, and, oh, you know, you have to do that. I don't know. I've always had this fear of how the end was going to be, that it was just going to be like cesarean city, you know, like I wouldn't have an option or wouldn't have control. And it's really looking more like I will get to have some sort of vaginal birth, which is what I want. I did also talk to her about, this is something my other midwife and I have been discussing for the last couple appointments that I've had, and that is of getting an epidural at some point. And I am probably going to do that. And the main reason is because if for some reason I do deliver Armor and Ronan does not fall the right way, and he's breached, or they can't turn him, or anything like that happens, and I would need to have a cesarean to deliver him, if I don't have an epidural in place, then I would be knocked out and I wouldn't be awake for his birth, and that is not cool with me. So I am choosing to get an epidural at some point, not right away. I want to labor as long as I can, I just want to labor as long as I can, and then I'll get the epidural. And like I said, that way, if for some reason he does have to come cesarean, I'm prepared. And that makes me feel really comfortable. And I would love to say that I'm going to do it all natural and no medicine, whatever. I don't care. At this point, I just want them here. And if doing it that way helps me to have a vaginal birth versus a cesarean birth, then I'm willing to do that as well. So that's kind of the plan. But the way it looks like, I mean, it looks like I'm going to be able to deliver Armor. You know, he's right there. And Ronan is transverse right now, so he's like across my belly. And hopefully the way he is, because his head is lower. It's not completely head down, but it's lower. So hopefully they will be able to guide him to the birth canal the right way. And that's another really good thing about having di twins, which is fraternal, is that he has his own sac and his own little bubble cushion around him. So they will kind of be able to use that, as long as his water hasn't broken, to guide him and just kind of turn him the way he needs to be. You know, but there's a possibility that they won't be able to turn him if he doesn't fall the right way. So we just want to be prepared for everything. And that's why I'm gonna have an epidural at some point. And maybe I wouldn't need it. I mean, if it all happens really fast or something, who knows? But I'm just, and mentally I'm prepared for that. That's, you know, the plan. And the midwives are really cool about it, and they're great about it. And that just makes me feel really good. Let's see. I think that's it. I think that's it. So, oh, I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry. The appointment was just so, I left there thinking I'm having babies today. Not really, but I just, the reality of our conversation and, you know, like, just talking about delivering them, it's just so surreal. Like, it's happening. Like, it's really, really happening. And that's why I got emotional whenever I left, because I just can't believe I'm here. I can't believe that when in a few weeks I'm going to have babies, like real life babies. It makes me feel amazing. And I just can't believe that I've made it this far. I can't believe that I'm pregnant. I mean, a year ago today, I was probably thinking that I would never ever be pregnant. And here I am, like, I'm almost 35 weeks pregnant with twins. And my body has been amazing. My body has let me carry these boys this far. And it just feels amazing. And I feel so unbelievably blessed and so thankful. And I just, I feel like everything is, I feel very emotional now. I feel just, I wish this for everybody. I really do. It's been it was a long, long road for us to get here. And I just feel like the pregnancy has gone by so fast. It's been so amazing. I've had my discomforts, and the end right now is, I mean, no lie, it's hard. My body hurts every day. But my body is doing what it's supposed to do, so I can't be upset at my body for hurting, because this is what, you know, this is what happens. But I just wish everybody out there the best of luck, because I know what it feels like to be infertile. And even though I'm pregnant now and I'm about to have 2 babies, it doesn't mean that I have forgotten what it feels like, because I remember very vividly all of the pain and the sadness that I went through to get here. And that's why I just feel amazing. And like I said, I wish this for every one of you who is watching, who is still trying. And I know it sounds cliche, and I know it sounds cheesy, and I know it's like a stab in the heart sometimes when people are like, oh, keep trying. But I just want to say, please keep trying if you can. Because if we had given up after our last IUI failed, and we had I'm just saying, if we'd given up, we wouldn't be here. And we are. And nobody can tell the future. Nobody can tell the future. So you just never know what can happen in life. And I thank all of you, every single one of you who've watched my videos and commented and left me messages and just been supportive of me through the whole thing, especially those of you who are still trying, because I know what it was like whenever I was trying and friends would get pregnant. It was so hard sometimes to watch those videos because I was happy for people, but I was still feeling bitter and sad inside. I just appreciate each and every one of you for having the strength to continue watching my videos, because I know that it's hard to watch someone else have what you want. And met some really awesome people. I mean, obviously I haven't met in real life, but I've had the opportunity to become friends with people online that are amazing women and who have amazing hearts and have supported me through this whole journey. And I really can't thank you enough for everything. It's made the journey and the experience so much more grand than I could have ever imagined. When I think about pregnancy and I realize that this is probably going to be my only pregnancy, it's a little bittersweet. You know, it went by so fast and now it's almost over, and I'm like, part of my brain is like, oh, I'm not ready to not be pregnant anymore. I mean, physically I'm ready to not be pregnant anymore because it's very uncomfortable, but mentally I'm just like, I don't want to forget the experience. I don't want to forget any of this. And I mean, I know I'm not going to. It's one of the reasons that I made all these vlogs. But it is a little bittersweet because, I mean, it's just something that I worked hard for, like all of you. And just to know that it's, that I'm almost at the end of the finish line, it's like, it's just amazing. I can't really, I can talk about it all day long, so I won't. But, I just know that I am rooting for all of you out there who are still trying, and I really do care a lot about you all. I'm just amazed at my body and this whole experience. So I will keep you all updated if anything happens or changes. I probably won't do a birth plan video just because I kind of talked about what we're gonna do here. But I am about to film my nursery video and my hospital bag video, so I'm going to upload those. And again, like I said, just thank you everybody for being there for me and supporting me through this entire experience. It has been amazing, and I am thankful for each and every one of you. So I hope you all have a great day. I will see you all next week for week 35. And Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates, and have a great day. Bye.